Hello again from my front porch. It is St. Patrick's Day weekend. So, of course, I've got the green on. It's a little faded, but it is green, trust me. I should have probably wore something a little brighter green, but it is green. And I'm sitting out here in the front porch where it is just absolutely gorgeous. Now I have to say that Iowa, we've talked about this before. It's nothing new. We have the weirdest weather here in Iowa because a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we were battling blizzards and snow and blowing snow and ice and freezing rain and traffic collisions and massive pileups and all this stuff. And now today it is 40 degrees and the snow is gone. There's still a few little scattered piles where it was so piled, like towards the end of my driveway out here, there is still just one tiny little mound of dirty snow because it had been so packed. That's where the guy that plows my drive, that's where he had been piling much of it. And so it's still there, but the rest of it, in fact, here, let me just show you, give you a quick tour of what it looks like now. So see, look outside there, look how green it is looking. Look how not white it is looking. That's the important thing. So, you see, yes, the snow is finally gone. I'm happy to see the snow be gone. Very happy to see it be gone. Even in my travels here this last week, I was a little concerned because we started to get a lot of rain and a lot of heavy fog because the temperature was going up, the rain was coming down, the snow was still frozen and icer and creating this steam and the temperature different. And so there was this massive banks of fog that I had to drive through in a lot of my driving. And that was not pleasant at all, especially when I was driving from Wichita to Omaha, which is a route I don't normally drive. The drive from Des Moines to Wichita, I almost have that thing memorized. I've driven that enough that it's a long drive, but I pretty much know where I'm going. But going to Omaha, no clue, and so I was depending totally on GPS and road signs, and when you're driving in fog that is so bad you can barely see past the end of your own car, seeing the road signs is problematic as well. And so you're really putting a lot of faith in that GPS to be able to guide you to where you want to go. But I obviously made it, and I'm still here. I live to tell. Anyway, so it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Now last year I did a whole thing about St. Patrick's Day and St. Pat's and St. Patty's and St. Patties and what the correct thing, and about colors that in Ireland actually the Catholics wear green and the Protestants wear orange, and so technically if you're not Catholic you should be wearing orange for St. Pat, but if you do that you get pinched because we're all trained to think green, and this is the one time where Kermit can't say it's not easy being green. This weekend it is very easy to be green. In fact, it's not easy being not green. That's where you get the pinching and you get the teasing and stuff. Everybody is an Irish Catholic in America this weekend. So anyway, I of course, I actually am not Catholic, but I have a lot of Irish in my family, and so in my family lineage, and so I'm proud to wear the colors, if you will. I'm sure that some of my ancestors might have been Catholic. I don't know. I would think that that's interesting. I should look that up because I think in some of the genealogy stuff you can see what religion it is. I don't know that I actually have any Catholics in my family, which is interesting, thinking that they would have come from Ireland and places like that, but a lot of Protestants there too. Anyway, that's an aside. I'm going to have to look that up. That'll be a topic for another episode. Actually, I should do an episode or two about doing genealogy stuff because I increasingly run into people who say, yeah, I'm interested in that, I just don't know how to do it, I don't know how to get started. And there's actually some really great online tools now to be able to help you do that. So file that away, Paul, file that away. That's a good thing for another day. But really what I wanted to focus on today, since today is a day about talking about things that are green grass, green shirt, green holiday. I'm not talking about the green beer. I personally, green beer makes total sense to me because I think beer is such a disgusting drink that anytime I'm anywhere near it, even smelling it, makes me turn green too. I can understand green beer. Stay away. Yuck. I can't. No. But there is something else I have that's green that this is a great opportunity for me to mention it because I haven't for a while, and that is my book, Learning While Working. That's right, I still have this book out there. But green, you know, when I wrote the book and you know, I had to go all the through putting all the stuff together inside the book and everything. They did all that, but then they came back with the cover. Now, the original title that I had for the book was All the World is a Classroom. Is a ripoff of Shakespeare's All the World is a Stage. Because my point was that you can learn the structure on the job training works anywhere. And so all the world can be your classroom. Well, ATD thought it was cute, but they also were afraid that having the word classroom in the title might cause people to see it backwards. That instead of understanding that I was talking about experiential on the job learning, that they would think it actually was about classroom learning, which obviously was not the case. And so I agreed, yeah, we'll change that. And they came up with this title, Learning While Working. That's what they came up with. And then they designed this whole fun cover thing with the little lines and the little things. And this was the design they landed. I didn't have really any say. I approved the title. Okay, if you think that's what's gonna appeal, that's what's gonna work. But the design, no, they came up with a design. But I got to choose the colors, and some of you will recall I even shared some of the examples of that in an episode a long time back, where I was where I showed you some of the different color schemes, and I even asked a few friends to weigh in on it, to vote on it too, and that was absolutely no help whatsoever because by the time I tallied up the results from the friends that had voted, it was pretty much across the board. Everybody liked everything, and so what it came down to is, what does Paul like? And you know what Paul likes? Green. Paul likes green. And so, ta-da! That's the book. The book became green. Now, I did have influence on design in the book because let me find a beginning of a chapter here. While they did that real fun, creative stuff on the cover here, the line stuff, inside it was just text and boxes, and I was like, well, that's kind of dull. I mean, if you're going to go to all the trouble of having all this on the outside, you got to have some fun stuff on the inside. So based on my urging, they retooled some things, so you can see like this design you see incorporates the line up there, and the lines are little fun lines down here, you know, that it's not just stiff, straight, static kind of stuff like that. And then throughout the book, where there's division, where there's pulled quotes, there's these other lines that get put in where it tries to replicate those things, because that was mine. That was my influence of saying, hey, if we're going to do this goofy creative stuff on the cover, we need to carry it through the book. It's got to be a theme that ties it all together. So, you know, so anyway, that's that. But so there's my green. If you do not yet have a copy of Learning While Working, why not? This would be a great time for you to go buy one. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, td.org/SOJT for structured on the job training. That's go out there and any of those places. Just, lots of different booksellers too. But Learning While Working, it's out there. And I'm really excited because coming up in May, I'll be at the ATD conference again, my 4th year in a row getting to speak at the international conference, which, I mean, I say that like it's just matter of fact, but it just blows my mind because there was a time when I would have dreamed about, oh, wouldn't it be cool if someday I could do that kind of stuff? And now here I am, 4th year in a row getting to do it. But this year, they're also going to have the book in the bookstore, and I'll be doing an author signing at the bookstore too, at the ATD International Conference and Expo. And it'll be in Washington, D.C., which is one of my favorite places for visiting and for the conference to be at. And so it's like, yes, this is so exciting. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, when we get to St. Patrick's Day, we think about leprechauns, we think about, you know, 4-leaf clovers and good luck and all that. And I gotta tell you, when we talk about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and everything, you know, I'm not scoring big money on this, but the reality is, in fact, I didn't give you the report. Oh, I should have given you the report. I finally got my first summary total of how many books have sold, and you know, people are like, oh, how many millions have you sold? No, you don't understand. It's a very specialized book. It's a very niche book. You have to have a certain kind of need in order to find this book of use to you, and so, or you have to just be a really good friend and you bought a copy. But so I've sold about 400 copies. That's all. And I'd say that's all. That's 400 more than I have ever sold at any other time. But so far, that's what I've sold. But keep in mind, it came out in July of last year. There hasn't really been the major thrust, major push on the books. Come this May, though, at the ATD conference, that's where they'll have that's the big time of year. They have their big bookstore set up. There are 15,000 people from 20, 30 different countries that are all going to be there, maybe more than that. Oprah Winfrey is going to be the keynote speaker this time. It was Barack Obama last year, and so I mean, it's like this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger all the time. And this book is going to be in the bookstore, and yours truly will be doing a book signing, and I suspect we're going to sell a few copies. That's going to be exciting. So anyway, like I said, I'm not making big money on that. That's not it at all. That's not even the reason for the book. The reason for the book is to share the structure of the job training thing. But when I think about good luck and good fortune and the pot of gold, this represents for me all of that stuff, because this is something I'd always dreamed of writing a book, never actually thought I ever would get that chance. Now I have. Now there it is. And now there's this name recognition. Now people know me because of this book, and I get these opportunities to speak and to share, and it's meant so much to me. And so this St. Patrick's Day, I am not celebrating by going out and getting on party buses and getting wasted and all that whatever kind of stuff. I'm celebrating my good fortune, my good luck, because I found my pot at the end of the rainbow. Oh, it's not overflowing with gold per se in the financial sense, but this is golden. This is a golden memory to me. This is so important to me. And really, really, honestly, I'd encourage you to go out and find yourself a copy too. Then that will help put gold in my pot at the end. No, but seriously, if you have use for learning how to improve how people learn on the job, everything you need is in that book. And I don't say that arrogantly or pridefully. I say it because that's the way it was designed. That's the way I intended it. Is that this isn't like here's a little teaser and now buy the next copy, the next edition, and you'll be able to learn more. Everything is in here. How to build the program, how to launch the program, how to promote the program, how to support the program, how to everything. It's all in there. And so go use it. That's what it's there for. All right. Enough blatant self-promoting. Another thing about the Irish is the Blarney Stone, and so here you go. This episode, if there's ever an episode that demonstrates that I am Irish and that I have the gift of the Blarney, this is the one right here. All right, with that, I'm going to let you go because it's getting kind of warm out here too. And I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.